75% of homicide victims last year were also the breadwinners of their homes. These statistics coming from the head of Phone Bahamas, Candy Gibson.
It's very hard, especially with children going back to school, uniform assistance, there's lunch, and then do bear in mind now, sometimes in these cases, the only person, even though they might have had not legal means or gainful employment, they would have been the only one taking care of the family. And some of them, their mothers are sick, and they're the ones who buying the medication or taking their moms to the doctor. And so when they meet their demise like this, it tends to bring on a kind of hardship, a little burden,
We know that no one expects their loved one to be murdered, and in light of that, Gibson outlines a number of challenges the ones left behind encounter following that tragic demise.
Because you already have your mortgage or your light bill, your rent, you have your car notes to pay, your loved one gets killed and so forth, and then when they get killed, their children now becomes your responsibility. You already, what the cost of living now was gone, so you already go into your financial challenges, and now to take on your loved ones, children, it really is hard.
She also speaks to issues with obtaining funds from NIB, especially if the victim didn't have enough contributions.
If your loved one gets killed and they don't have sufficient contribution in at NIB, their children don't qualify for nothing. And I think that's very sad and it's very bad, because if you're working to establishment and your establishment taking out your salary every week or every month and tell you what a measure and time it is miles, why does national insurance feel like they're obligated or compelled to keep that?
And after going through such a traumatic experience like losing your loved one to murder, Gibson says that more families are experiencing challenges when it comes to receiving funds to offer their family member a proper burial.
Even with persons trying to get insurance, like the insurance companies don't want payout, and if your loved one was killed. Once your loved one is murdered and the police comes on, they say, well, he was known to the police, or he's a prolific offender, or he was on bail, the insurance company now has an issue with paying out the monies.
And while some families face challenges for funeral arrangements, others find themselves at the Department of Social Services having to cope with less than favorable customer service. Take Maxine Woods, for example. She lost her son on June 21st, 2019, after being stabbed to death on Malcolm Road. And 3 months later, she lost her husband in a shooting incident on October 9th in Nassau Village.
Social services, the one in Foxhill, it wasn't good. They don't know how to talk to people. They don't know how to treat persons when you come there. My social worker, what I had, she talked to me, somebody never went back. Now the family of murder victims, Miss Gibson, she's doing an excellent job with reaching out to the families and helping in whichever way she could. And so, thank God for her, thank God for my family members, my mother, and that's how we was able to continue to make it through.
And to that, Gibson says this.
This whole country needs to overhaul when it comes to customer service, because some persons feel like whatever is there to give the people is must be their daddy or their mommy on. Their mommy must leave or their daddy leave some inheritance for them. Because I don't understand it when we have entities in place supposed to help the persons, whether it be by simple information, pick up the phone and calling a person, to actually giving them handouts. We shouldn't have nobody giving nobody no attitude in this country.
Leah Cooper, Eyewitness News.